To be honest with you, I feel like the term lady boss is actually a flawed term. When you say boss, there's automatically a notion of someone who dictates, when in reality, I'm just a team player just like everybody else. And I think, you really just have to lead with a clear vision. I'm Cindy Fernandez Beltran. I'm a mother, a wife, an interior designer, an event designer, an entrepreneur, and now a YouTube content creator. So I run one of Manila's premier interior design firm, or a multidisciplinary firm. It's called Moss Design House. And we've built this along with my husband in 2008. And because I work with my husband, the lines got blurred more and more. I know I'm busy and my kids are wise beyond their years to be able to understand the demands of the work that I have. It's hard to admit it, but the first thing I do in the morning is really to check on my gadgets. So I really do check it. I check on my emails. I check on my social media accounts. But soon after that, I do my daily ritual, should I go on saying, I drink water, I drink my lemon water, my tea. I try to outline in my head what I'm going to do for the whole day.
Sorry, no tea to spill.
As interior designers, we try to look spaces as micro environments where we get to influence people on how they use their spaces. Because the truth is, sooner or later, there's going to be scarcity of that. And the world needs to appreciate more what we have. It needs to give more meaning to the spaces that we have left and use it as creatively as possible and so much more with purpose. So Moss Manila, it's now Moss Design House after we rebranded last June 2020, is actually built based on a vision of being the first multidisciplinary firm that has turnkey capabilities. Turnkey means basically that the firm designs and executes as well, all in-house. The firm actually started out with a very lean team of 5 people, and it started out in our garage office. That was 12 years ago. Actually, when we started out, event design was actually very much unheard of. And we found that as a sort of like my blue ocean, and thought that why don't we start designing with an interior design point of view. I like how people tend to associate when they come to our events or when they see our interiors that it's so Moss. We usually start with a client briefing, we get all their mandatories. And when I translate that into interiors, it's basically the same thing. It's actually reading the personality of the client and knowing their day-to-day living, what's their life like, Again, it needs to be built around their lifestyle. I'm very creatively intuitive, if that makes sense. So I'd like to be able to brush up with my team. I want to flesh out ideas with them. I want to filter that out. And once we have that in play, we compose a deck that serves as an internal design Bible. And our goal is always to make sure that the actual execution is as close to the renders or even more. And I think it's important that Moss Design House really just has this genuine desire to help build the brands that we work with. I think the magic really is with the people, the core values that we have instilled with each and every employee that's working at Moss. You know, to me, design houses have this responsibility as well to be original. That originality and you having this specific standard will actually help you build a very good reputation. To me, technology is so important. It's such an integral part of our daily life. I mean, not just in the creative or in the design field, but I guess just of everybody, especially for me who's always on the go, who needs to be in different places at once. Having a powerful laptop is just so helpful, and it's so important that it's very handy for me. It's something that I can bring to my site, you know, I can bring to my office, and it's so convertible. Like, you know, I can do a presentation 1 minute and then I can do a sketch the next minute. Luckily enough, Asus has delivered one of the most powerful laptops yet, and I'm lucky to be the first one to try Asus ZenBook Flip 13. And you know, when I used it, it can actually run its basic programs such as MS Office or Excel. At the same time, I'm happy that it can actually run the complex programs that I use, such as Adobe Photoshop or CAD files. And that's all possible because of the latest 11th gen Intel Core processors with Intel Iris Xe integrated graphics and its high memory capacity. I love how it's so lightweight and something that really comes in handy when I do multiple tasks in a day. So I love that it goes on different modes. It can go on a laptop, it can be a tablet, or it can go in a tent mode as well. And that's all possible because of the 360-degree ergo lift hinge. And I think it's one of the best features of my Asus ZenBook Flip 13. You know, one of the most used feature in my Asus ZenBook Flip 13 is the number pad 2.0. Doing cost estimates for my clients are made so much easier and simpler. It's very innovative and one of the kind. You know, I don't have to charge my Asus ZenBook Flip 13 every time because it has up to 16 hours of battery life, made possible by the newest Intel 11th Gen processor and Iris Xe graphics. Also, very important feature for me is the Asus Pen because, you know, I sketch, I draw, I do check prints, which is again essential because of the urgency and how fast-paced my work is, and I need to be able to answer queries on time. So to me, an incredible leader is someone who actually leads by example, someone who gives credit as well and celebrates the victories of the team, leads with positivity, with hope and strength, even in the midst of an adversity. It's very important to be a student of life. I think there are still a million things that's left to be explored and learned. And it's very important to always choose humility and keep yourself grounded because, you know, as they always say, you're only as good as your last show. And to acknowledge that you are part of an industry that still has so much potential. I mean, you want to be known as one who continues to push the envelope and break free from what others see as comfort zones, even if that means going for it and pushing the envelope at very calculated risks. And lastly, always just evolve and keep on reinventing yourself and acknowledging that there really is change and you have to adapt to that change. I always wanted to go global. We had that planned for 2020, and I know this may not have been the best year, but I'm hopeful. No, I'm actually very determined that we can take and lead Moss Design House beyond our borders to showcase what Filipino design firms can do in a global stage. With my Asus ZenBook Flip 13, I can go 360 and be incredible.